Hey. Welcome to another episode of Sipping with Simone. I am just here chilling in my natural habitat, in my apartment, looking the way that I actually typically do when I am by myself. Hair out, no bra, chilling with no makeup on. Apparently that's when you're the prettiest. So here I am. But there's a reason for having my hair out. I was watching a YouTube video about this. Well, okay, so this girl, okay, let me back up even more. I have fine 4C natural hair. And having fine 4C natural hair has never been easy for me because most of the YouTube channels and all the YouTubers who do natural hair on YouTube, their hair is not like mine. And so they'll talk about all these cool twist outs and all these cool things that you could do. And I can't replicate it because my hair doesn't grow like that. And my hair doesn't define, its curl definition is a struggle. Everything is a struggle with my hair. So her video inspired me to do this video, but her video also inspired me because it inspired me to talk about loving your hair. So I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about loving your hair. I also want to talk about a disorder called hair pulling disorder, otherwise known as Trichotillomania. I don't even know if I pronounced that properly. Not even sure if I have it, but I'm pretty sure I have Trichotillomania, and I wanted to bring some awareness to that and to let people know that if they do it, that they're not alone. So what a lot of people may not know, or what you may have noticed in talking to me or watching these videos or in real life, what you may have noticed but never brought attention to, is I pull my hair. I like to have my hands in my hair. And I'm pretty sure I have trichotillomania, which is basically hair pulling disorder. It's a body focused behavioral disorder. It's a compulsive disorder whereby people will consciously or unconsciously pick out their hair to the point where it creates bald patches or bald spots, and could be a point of distress in terms of going out there in the world and relating with people. So if you notice, the reason why my edges are thin is not because of braiding, because of course I've done a lot of braiding over the years, but that's not actually it. It's because in periods of stress I actually pull out my hair to the point where it does look bald. And I do that at the back of my head as well, and I have like a clearing in the middle of my head, which started in bar school. So basically the trigger for me is stress or anxiety. If there's something that I'm really stressed out or anxious about, I will start pulling my hair. For me, it's unconscious. I will just be sitting down on a couch or something. I'll just be in a trance or daydreaming and just start pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling until there's no more. And then there comes a little bit of the, I guess, the compulsiveness of it, or the perfectionist part of it, is I pull so much that it's like, oh my gosh, how much did I pull? And then I'm going back in to reassure myself, to be like, how much did I pull? And in the reassurance, you end up kind of pulling more. So yes, I pull my hair. I've always had my hands in my hair. My parents will tell you that when I was a kid and they would braid up my hair for church, I'd always like pull out the braids. But I think specifically, I was aware of it when I hit puberty, I think more so. I remember specifically there being a time in English class in grade 7 and I was just going at this one patch at the back of my head. And I'll often pull until I sometimes pull out the follicle, and it'll create a bump. So I actually do literally pull out my hair. But for me, it's always been to, I think, release tension, or as to counterbalance the anxiety that I may be feeling. So I've always had these kind of nervous habits. I also bite my nails. You guys have probably noticed that too. And I don't just like bite my nails. I bite my nails to the quick. Sometimes I bite my nails to the point of bleeding. So my nails are really, really very, very short. And yeah, these are things about myself that I guess I've kind of just come to terms with. In terms of like changing it, like obviously it's not fun to go outside without any edges. So for me though, because apparently it's a disorder and it's anxiety driven, for me I'd have to, it's not so much willpower, it's not so much okay I just have to stop, which is also why I wanted to do this video, because I'm pretty sure if you're a hairdresser or a parent out there or family or friend, you probably just told that person, okay, just stop, you need to just stop biting your nails, stop pulling out your hair. But for that individual, it's not just about stopping. They probably have to actually replace that activity with another activity, with a healthier activity. So my psychologist has talked about trading up. Instead of pulling out your hair, what could you do to trade up and to address it? So the key with any thing in your life, and whether or not it's something you need to stop, is if it causes you distress. And for me, none of these things actually cause me distress, in the sense that it's like, oh my gosh, I am unable to form friendships and relationships with people because I isolate myself because I'm embarrassed. And for me, it's just like, if you see that I have no edges, you see I have no edges. That's also why you often see me wearing a headband. That's just what it is. I've come to accept this as part of myself. This is just how I deal with stress. Not the nicest or most graceful thing to do. But insofar as changing it, yeah, I'm not actively working on changing. It's one of those things where if I bite my nails until I die, I'm fine. I've once tried to grow my fingernails, and then I actually hated the idea of having fingernails because things would get caught under them and everything, and I absolutely hated it. So I'm fine, and I've learned to live with having very small, very short nails. And in terms of the edges, that comes and goes. If I'm in a period of time in my life when I'm really stressed, like bar exams, yeah, I'll pull. But if I am dealing with my stress properly, if I'm dealing with anxiety properly, then there won't be any pulling. And it also depends on the hairstyles too. So some protective hairstyles also help as well. So I wanted to share that little tidbit of information, not like as a confessional only, but just to let people know that you're not alone, and that it's common enough. Apparently about 1 to 4% of the population have trichotillomania. So it's common enough, but I would love to hear from you if you know somebody who does that, or if you do that yourself. And it's also awareness to the rest of you who don't do it, just to know that, hey, this is probably why that could be a reason why that person has no edges, or has a bald spot, or keeps playing with their hair, or keeps biting their fingernails. It's not a matter of willpower. It's not a matter of lack of discipline, but it could actually have some underlying reasons there. I also wanted to talk about not only that, but so like, yeah, comment below if you could relate to the struggle. So it's the struggle with having good hair. It's a struggle of accepting your body. And I've over the past few years have really become an advocate for body image and body positivity and loving your body. And perhaps not even for those of us who can't love our bodies, for at least accepting our bodies. And part of accepting your body is, yeah, perhaps accepting the different disorders and mania and things that you may have, but also part of accepting your body is accepting how God made your body. And for the longest time, I hated that I had these patches, and I hated that, in addition to the patches, that my hair was so thin. So when you have, I have so many things apparently. I'm falling apart. I'm ill. No. So not only do I have trichotillomania, so these are big scientific words for things that, we see people have, but we think it's normal and we never pay attention to it. So yeah, with trichotillomania. Apparently I also have very mild polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I'll post my link below in terms of what that is. One of the symptoms of PCOS, which is the acronym for polycystic ovarian syndrome, is thinning hair. However, I don't believe that my hair is thin because of PCOS. So here's the distinction. My hair is fine. The strands of my hair are actually fine and thin, but my hair is not thinning. Any thinning that has happened, it has literally been because I pull my hair. The places where I have that pulled are actually quite thick. And if I were to put my hair in a bun, as many of you have typically have perhaps seen, you'll see that my hair is actually quite thick. My hair is not thinning. So that's the difference. It's just naturally, genetically, I've always had very thin strands of hair, just very fine hair. And so I've never actually known what to do with it. And for most of my life, it's just been, you know, been not ashamed, but like, I didn't think I have good hair. I didn't really try much with my hair. I didn't really care about my hair because I kind of felt like it was a lost cause. And then, you know, my mother and my father were not very helpful in terms of instilling confidence and esteem in my hair. So my mom would often say, oh, you have such a picky head side. Once upon a time when I did have edges, she'd say, so picky, you know, because it would be really, really curly and nappy. But she'd always say, you know, my sister Chantal has good hair because my sister's curl pattern was much looser and her hair is much more silkier and it was longer. So I just kind of gave up from my hair. And I remember the other day my mom said, you can't really do much with your hair because of all these different little patches and whatever. So the key to loving your hair, and for me to finally coming to a point to love my hair, is to rebuke all of that. So especially if you're West Indian, you probably dealt with a lot of not only colorism in your family, but also the good hair, bad hair kind of issue. And so for me, the first step was to rebuke all of that, to rebuke the whole good hair, bad hair thing. And when my mom said, you know, you can't really do much with your hair, I took that as a challenge of like, no, I can. I just have to figure it out. I realized that this is the hair God has given me. Not necessarily the hair that I wanted, but this is the hair that I have. And there's so many people in the world who wish that they had hair. A lot of people with alopecia, etc. And I have hair, and so I should be thankful for it and try to figure out how to style it. And that for me is just a challenge that I have to embark on, but it's a fun challenge because it's my hair and it grows on my head. You know, so that's what I've been trying to do. So I've been trying to find some YouTubers. And over, again, the past few years, I've made some strides in terms of learning that, okay, you know, twist outs do not work very well for me. But I could put my hair in a roller set. I could do a blowout. I could do flat iron. I could cornrow my hair. There are ways to fill in edges and patches as you wait for them to grow. You could use makeup, you could use gel and lay it down. You could, many ways. So that's one thing I've been learning. So rebuke what people say about your hair. Find some YouTubers who you could follow. Learn about your hair typing, learn about your porosity, trial and error, and learn about the products that may work for you. The methods, not only the products, but the methods that may work for you, like curly girl method, lock method, leave-in oil cream, or LCO method, leave-in cream oil, and just try to see what works for you. And just accept the body and the hair that God has given you. And that's the essence of body image and body positivity and self-esteem. There is a member of parliament, Caesar-Chavannes, who months ago stood up in Canadian Parliament and talked about how not about body shaming, and she talked about how she's rocking some dope braids and that women, and especially women of color, should not be shamed for what's on their head or what their body looks like. And that's true. What's on your head is part of your body, and it's all part of this whole body positivity. So if you're going to be body positive, and you really should be, it's not only for women, for everybody, you also have to not only love this in its form, but also love this. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Love your hair. Be thankful for your hair. Pray over your hair. That's something that I'm doing more and more. I tell the Lord, you know what, you gave me this hair. I don't know what the heck to do with it. Please let me know, teach me how to take care of the hair that you've given me. And it's an approach that I think can be applied to your hair and any other aspect of your life. This is what you've given me. Teach me how to be a good steward of it. Teach me how to use it. Teach me what you want to do. And more often than not, I find that the Holy Spirit comes along to help and teach. And so, like, he helped me find this YouTube vlogger, who I shall post below because I have a new subscriber, and I think she's really cool. So that's all I wanted to say. If you have hair pulling disorder, you're not alone. And if you have it, and even if you have thin hair, you can still love your hair and love yourself as you are, where you're at, because there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? That's all I have to say. Bye. Gonna go condition my hair now and put on a bra. Have a good day.